Hello, we are at Concordia Summit, and I am with President José María Aznar, and he is currently the Executive President of FAES. President Aznar, thank you so much for being with us here today.
It's a pleasure.
Can you please share with us the mission of FAES?
FAES is a foundation that I founded 20 years ago, 25 years ago,
Wow.
exactly, and is based in defend ideas and promote ideas based in a vision of the world, based in liberty, in freedom, defend democracy, defend free markets, defend the expansion of freedom, defend a conservative vision of in politics. But this is strictly a political think tank.
Excellent. So right now, in keeping with the theme of this year's summit, which is investing in youth to build a prosperous future, how do you see FAES contributing to the global youth community?
There's different forms of contribution, because I defend the idea that the decision of governments are relevant to create the ambience or to let companies to create jobs. But the function of governments is not to create jobs directly. But if you define, for instance, an idea based in the lower taxes, or an efficient energy system, or more competition in the markets, or more single market, or more innovation and more technologies, or more cheap energy, we create conditions to promote jobs and to alleviate these problems about the job, the employment for young people, that is really dramatic.
Okay, wonderful. And so, in terms of FAES creating value for the role of public-private partnerships, where do you see the impact being most effective? How FAES is even working with public and private partnerships? Is that something common?
Yeah, really. As I explained before, I don't believe in the intervention of the government economy. Government can promote some things, but not intervene in the economy.
We have to involve the private sector.
But for this public, this is a good job for a foundation, for think tanks to offer governments ideas, offer governments possibilities, offer governments projects, programs, strategic reports, strategic ideas. That it is the kind of things that we needed.
Absolutely.
But in this moment in the world, in my view, the battle of ideas, to fix the good ideas, it is extremely important. No?
Yeah.
And we must not forget never that good ideas usually produce good results.
Yeah.
But bad ideas usually produce bad
results.
And it's necessary thinking a lot and produce and have good ideas.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's 40%. I just heard 40% of our world's youth is unemployed, and it's a major global issue. And right now in Spain too, unemployment is a big challenge. Just what is your take on what needs to happen? I mean, obviously it's a big question, but anything specific?
No, but in my time in government, we have the capacity during 8 years to create more than 5 million new jobs.
Wow.
More than the half of the jobs created in the European Union in this moment, more than 50% are created in Spain, and more than 50% was created, great part for women's, and then maybe for youths people. We descend the level of unemployment for the youths to a level more or less in 15% from 45% or 47%.
Yeah.
Very, very serious. But why? Because you create conditions and you take We take good decisions in this sense of create confidence, create an ambience based in trust, more investment, more investment, more flexibility, more capacity, more competitiveness in the country, less taxes, less bureaucracy, less intervention. This is, in my view, the secret. No?
Yeah.
But if you respond the crisis, or you respond this situation of youth unemployment with more taxes, more regulation, more interventionism, this is a wrong answer, wrong response.
Excellent. And we were talking earlier about women's role too. I mean, I have to ask about the importance of of women. Are you seeing a lot of women getting more involved in the workforce in Spain as well?
The revolution of the presence of the women in the public life in Spain and the world, but in the public life in Spain, is very impressive.
Yeah.
I am very proud that, for instance, my wife is the current mayor in Madrid. Is the first woman mayor in Madrid in the history. But for instance, in my time as president of government, the presidents of the Senate and the president of the House of Representatives, both are women. And in terms of members of government, a lot of women were members of government. But I defend a very strong presence of women in public life, but not as consequence of a law that establishes a quote, a percentage in favor of women, but promoting the possibilities of women based in the capacity of women and the will of women to spend time, to devote efforts, to create initiatives and so on.
Great, wonderful. So, again, back to public-private partnerships. During your time in office, specifically then, what did you observe as benefits of the model of P3s, and what challenges did you witness that we can learn from when you were in office specifically?
It is in economic terms?
Yeah.
Well, the most important challenge for me was the high level of unemployment, high rate of unemployment.
Yeah.
If you give the people the opportunities, if you imagine a family with 4 people in the family, in this family enter 1 salary, but then 2 salaries, and then 3, and then 4.
Right.
This changed totally life.
Yeah.
If you have a job, we wake up every morning with the idea to go to the job, with the idea to create something for society, for the rest of the people. If not, it's a tragedy. This is taking right decisions that have the possibility to create enough trust for the people, for the companies to create jobs. Is the most important task in my view. The most important challenge is the most important challenge. I am very proud of the results of this activity in terms of government.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Well,
and then, my last question is, well, first of all, do you have children?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and how old are they now?
Fortunately for me, first of all, there are good children, and then they have good jobs.
Yes, that's good.
And
good role models.
They're working a lot.
Yes.
And I am very proud of this family.
It's amazing how, and they grow up today now doing so much. Their brain, what they technology, what they know how to do is so much faster than the older generation.
The current changes in the world is very impressive, and the capacity to make adaptations to this change in economic terms, technological terms, is very impressive and indispensable. No?
If you were to give one leadership advice to youth in terms of being great leaders, just your favorite piece of advice.
force, interior force,
They are the
convictions, will.
Yeah. Okay.
Never lose the will, never lose the conviction, keeping this
Amazing.
decision, yes, fundamental.
I just got the chills. Okay, great, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This is wonderful.